about the anatomy and physiology for the GNM first years. In this we are going to discuss about the unit 7, that is digestive system. So in the last class we have seen up to the teeth, and today we are going to discuss about the salivary glands. So salivary glands also one of the part which are included in the digestion process. So the salivary glands also help for the digestive system. So in the salivary glands it includes the three pairs of the glands. So the three pairs of the glands, it includes the parotid gland and submandibular gland and the sublingual gland. So the three types of glands can be involved in the salivary glands, and it includes the parotid glands and the submandibular gland and sublingual gland. So the parotid glands, these are serous secretions situated one on each side of the face. So the parotid glands, these are serous secretions. It provides the and it secretes the serous, it secretes the fluid. So it consists of water or some of the proteins and the enzymes. So these are serous secretions. So serous secretion means it consists of water and the proteins like enzymes, and there is a fluid can be included in the serous secretions. So the parotid glands are serous secretions and situated on each side of the face. So the parotid glands can be situated on each side of the parotid gland and just below the external acoustic meatus. So the parotid glands can be situated below the external acoustic meatus. So external acoustic meatus, it can be situated from the external ear to the middle ear. So from the middle ear to the external ear, it is the external acoustic meatus can be situated. It is the bony canal. So the below the external acoustic meatus, the parotid glands can be situated. So external acoustic meatus, nothing but there is a external ear. So below the external ear, the parotid glands can be situated on each side of the face. So below the external ear, the parotid glands can be situated, and they are opened by the Stenson's duct at the second upper molar teeth. So they are opened by the Stenson duct. So Stenson duct, it is a duct, and it can be situated at the second upper molar teeth. So upside of the mouth and at the region of the upper molar teeth. So at the second upper molar teeth, and the Stenson's duct can be situated. So by this duct, the parotid glands can be secretes the saliva. So it is about the parotid glands. So the parotid glands, these are serous secretions situated on each side of the face, and the serous secretions, and it can be situated on each side of the face and just below the external acoustic meatus. So the parotid glands can be situated below the external acoustic meatus. It is nothing but there is a acoustic meatus from the middle ear to the external ear, and these are opened by the Stenson's duct. So Stenson's duct can be situated at the second upper molar teeth, at the region of the second upper molar teeth. And next one is the submandibular gland. So submandibular gland, these are serous and the mucous secretions lie one on each side of the face, and the submandibular glands, it can be secretes the serous, and there is a mucus can be secreted by the submandibular gland. So mucus also, it can be protects the salivary glands, and there is a secretions lie one on each side of the face. So the submandibular glands can be situated on each side of the face and just below the acoustic meatus. So the acoustic meatus, it is nothing but it is the middle ear. So between the below the middle ear, the acoustic meatus can be situated. these are opened by the Watson duct at the floor of the mouth. So the submandibular glands can be opened by the Wharton's ducts. So Wharton ducts can be situated at the floor of the mouth. So by this Wharton's duct, the submandibular glands can be opened and it secretes the saliva. So at the submandibular gland, so at the floor of the mouth, the Wharton's ducts can be situated, and by the Wharton's ducts the submandibular glands can be opened and it secretes the saliva. So it is about the submandibular gland. And the next one is the sublingual gland. So sublingual gland, there is a mucus secretion which lie under the mucous membrane of the floor of the mouth. So the sublingual gland can be situated below the tongue. So below the mouth, at the floor of the mouth, the sublingual glands can be situated and the mucus secretions which lie under the mucous membrane of the floor of the mouth and are opened by the ravenous ducts secretes the saliva. So this ravenous ducts, it can be situated below the tongue, and by this duct the sublingual glands can be opened and it secretes the saliva. So it is a sublingual gland, it can be situated below the tongue at the floor of the mouth and they are opened by the ravenous duct. So ravenous duct, it can be situated the below of the tongue. So it can be secretes the saliva. So by this ravenous ducts the sublingual glands can be opened and it secretes the saliva. So it is about the three pairs of the salivary glands, the parotid glands and the submandibular gland and the sublingual gland. So next one is the structure of the salivary glands. So the glands are surrounded by the fibrous capsule. So the salivary glands can be surrounded by the fibrous capsule. So it is nothing but it is a thin layer and it covers the salivary glands, and they consist of a number of lobules made up of small acini lined with secretory cells. So the small acini means it is become small cells, it is a secretory cells, and by these cells the saliva can be secretes, and these secretions poured into a large ducts into the mouth. So from these secretory cells the secretions can be released. So after the secretions released and it can be drained into the large ducts. So it can be drained into the large duct, and from these ducts it can be opened into the mouth. So from the large ducts the secretions can be released into the mouth. So it is about the structure. It includes the glands are surrounded by the fibrous capsule. So it is nothing but thin layer, it surrounds the salivary glands, and it consists of a lobules and made up of the small acini lined with the secretory cells. So it consists of secretory cells and it releases the secretions, and the secretions can be drained into the large ducts, and by the large ducts it can be released into the mouth. So next one is the compositions of the saliva. So the compositions, what are the compositions can be involved in the saliva? So at the daily 1 to 1.5 liters of saliva can be released in the body. So there is a every day 1 to 1.5 liters of saliva can be secretes in the mouth. So the compositions, it includes the volume. So volume, it includes the 1000 to 1500 ml. So daily 1000 to 1500 ml should be secreted by the mouth, secreted by the salivary glands into the mouth. And the next one is the reaction. The saliva become acidic slightly. So it is become acidic slightly, and the pH of the saliva is 6.35 to 6.85, and the specific gravity is the 1000 to 1.002 to 1.012. The specific gravity of the saliva is 1.002 to to 1.012. So the compositions includes the volume 1000 to 1500 ml and the reaction is become slightly acidic and pH is 6.35 to 6.85 and the specific gravity 1.00 to 1.012. So the next one is the functions of the salivary glands. So the functions it includes the helps in the preparation of food. So after taking the food, it can be cutting into the small pieces and it can be mixed with the saliva. So by this saliva it can be easy to swallowing. The saliva can be helps in the easy to swallowing. So while taking the food and it can be cutting into the small pieces by the teeth and after the cutting of the food and it can be mixed with the salival secretions and it is easy to swallowing. So the saliva can be helps in the preparation of the food. And the next one is the appreciation of the taste. So the salivary glands can be helps in the tasting of the food. So by the tasting by the saliva we can taste the food. So the function it includes the helps in the preparation of the food and the appreciation of the taste. And the next one is the role in speech and the regulation of body temperature. So the salivary glands it also helps in the speech and next to regulation of body temperature. So body temperature also regulated by the salivary glands. And the next one is the regulation of water balance. So it helps in the regulation of water balance in the mouth. So if you are continuous talking, the mouth become dry and at that time the salivary gland secretes the saliva. It helps for the maintain the mouth become wet by the salivary glands. So it is also helps in the regulation of water balance. So the functions it includes the helps in preparation of food and the appreciation of taste and the role in the speech and regulation of body temperature and regulation of water balance. So it is about the salivary glands.